On today's 5-Star Flex, I got my man, JD Pickell from the Hard Count, and we're going to talk about college football and how it relates to recruiting with some of the biggest programs in the country. Man, I cannot wait. Let's start here. JD, let's start here. Oh, before we get there, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button on 3 Recruits, the best recruiting channel in the business. All right, JD, I want to start here. Colorado has the game in their hands. They let it slip away. A lot of recruits on campus and some guys that we didn't know about that were on campus to take that game in. If you're a recruit, let's say you're Nathaniel Boateng, who nobody expected to be there. You got a 4-star, the top uncommitted linebacker of the country who will be on this show in a few minutes. If you're him, what do you take away from that game as far as Colorado and what they can offer you?
I think one thing that maybe gets lost a little bit in the shuffle of all of the excitement and exposure that Dion's brought to Colorado is the fact that he inherited a 1-win football team. And so I know everybody is jumping in on this thing and saying, hey, they got to go win the Big 12. They got to make the playoff. And I would have to believe those are goals and aspirations Deion Sanders has as well. But I think if I'm a recruit seeing the product on the field from what they were before he got there to last year to this year, they continue to trend upwards. And so I understand the impatience and the desire for them to be a finished product, but that's a really freaking good Kansas State football team. And to battle with them and quite frankly, be in a position where maybe you woulda, shoulda, coulda won that football game without your best player in Travis Hunter. I think you just continue to see the trajectory of where this thing could go if you're going to commit and go play for Deion Sanders. So I understand there's no moral victories in losing, but if I'm a recruit and seeing where this thing is headed, the way that it just continues to trend upward. I mean, I said before the year, I think Colorado is a bowl eligible football team. I love the way they're trending, and I think that would be encouraging from a recruit.
As a former Division I football player, you know what it is to be recruited. When you and one of the biggest things is atmosphere. So for all of the games that you watch, where do you rank or what do you think about Colorado's atmosphere as it pertains to recruiting?
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, Dukes, the schools that were recruiting me, the atmosphere is a little, you got families there, you got a couple of students that wander in and say, oh, we got a football team, which was always, I mean, hey, I'm happy to be there, happy to be able to play college football. But I think when you watch Colorado, just what we said, talking about the trend, the engagement and the overall just energy from that fan base. I haven't been to Boulder, Colorado, but even just looking at it through the television, you can tell that is a fan base that has been, I would have to believe, starving in some ways for a product they can be proud of. And then also there's a lot of people that, let's just call a spade here, got fired up and invested in college football because of Deion Sanders. We talk a lot about the Dion effect and what he brings to the table. I think it was the ESPN socials that tweeted out either yesterday or at some point this week a picture of the Colorado football stadium 2022, so pre-Dion. And it looked a lot like my stadium when I was playing college football at the FCS level. And then they do a pan over to the 2023 season, and that place is packed out. There's energy. You could look at the TV ratings as well. It feels like every single week, no matter who Colorado is playing, it is must-see television, and the numbers, I believe, are indicating that. So the atmosphere in itself, if you were there, I think the word I would put to it is production. And sometimes production has a negative connotation of oh, these things aren't real. This is all just kind of propped up. I think the production that Colorado football is and what they have on hand now in that stadium, I think that is real. And I think that's something that would have to be encouraging and exciting if I'm considering playing football at Colorado.
So the Buffaloes have kind of taken a late approach, or maybe their approach to recruiting has been they've utilized the bye week to the fullest. And now you see them in the mix for a Naeem Alford. Now you see them in the mix for a Keelan Russell. You see, like I talked about Nathaniel Boateng being at the game, Christian Hudson, UCF commit. They made the most of the bye week. But for somebody who knows college football, is there an advantage to getting it into recruitments later in the season?
You have to think so, right? I mean, especially for what Colorado is right now, which I think a lot of kids, I would have to believe, I don't know this to be true, but I would have to believe the hesitation around going to a place like Colorado is okay, well, when I get there, are we going to be good? Because last year was exciting and the first couple of weeks are great, but then you end up finishing the year 4-8. This year now, they're going to be a lot better than 4-8. I think they'll be a bowl eligible football team. And so I think the anxiety of what Colorado is going to be long-term, if you do land one of those commitments you just mentioned, I think that's kind of the thing that will allow them to surge closer to National Signing Day. And Dukes, we've seen this too, like in the day and age where kids have so many options, like it's almost better to land a commitment closer to signing day instead of having to battle and fend off all the sharks if you land a commitment in the summer or something of that nature.
What position group has impressed you the most, or if not impressed, surprised you the most about Colorado looking at their team in 2023 and the additions that they made in 2024? What position group do you look at and say, you know what, if I'm recruiting and if I'm talking to a recruit, this position group, we have something that we've shown that we're dedicated to getting better at?
I think there's a couple of ways to answer that question. I think the first position you highlight, if you're talking about trying to showcase Colorado, is the skill players. And right now, with they are big game hunting. It seems like when it comes to the quarterback position, but seeing what Deion Sanders has done within that system, have to believe that will attract a quarterback and in turn attract other skill players to play with that quarterback. So that's the first part of it. But then I think you can also recruit to areas of need. And if I'm Deion Sanders, he kind of mentioned this different times throughout his press conference. He's like, when people see the skill that we have, it's not hard for them to fill in the blanks and say, okay, if I get some big human beings on the offensive and defensive line, like we're going to have a chance here. And it's one thing to do that hypothetically. It's another thing to do it, when it actually comes to the on-field product. I think Colorado is somewhere in the journey to getting to the on-field product. But the thing that I've been impressed with this season from this Deion Sanders team is the defense. Like the way they've gotten after the quarterback. Again, I don't think they're a finished product, but the trend, I keep going back to the trend, the way they are progressing and the way they've improved when it comes to rushing the passer, I think that speaks volumes to like, this isn't just lip service from Deion Sanders. Is it a ready-made situation to win? Not just yet. But again, I think the trend is something to be encouraged about. And if I'm a pass rusher, I see the blueprint and I see ultimately what we could accomplish if I do take my talents to Boulder.
I'm here live on the 5-Star Flex with Nathaniel Owusu Boateng, the top uncommitted linebacker in the country. Woo, what's going on, Doc?
What's going on? How's it going?
Man, it's good, man. It's always good to see you, man. It's a big development. So last time we talked, I didn't hear a lot about Colorado.
Yeah.
That was you held out on me. Now you just took an OV. How was it, dog?
Honestly, it was great. Just going up to Boulder for the first time. Seeing the mountains, talking to Coach Prime, Coach Hart, Coach Livingston, and just understanding the opportunity that is at play like for myself. So I'm grateful for the opportunity just to go up to Boulder and just to see Colorado.
So how did it come about? Because we talk pretty often, to be honest, and all of a sudden it's, hey, man, I'm going to Colorado. I'm like, bro, what's going on? Okay, so I didn't see that one coming. How did this come about?
Yeah, so like I started talking to Coach Box, last month. Okay. And, me and him, like, we're just having conversations, back and forth, not really thinking it was, like it was gonna be like a big thing. And then then it just got better and better. And then just talking to Coach Hart, like the linebackers coach, and just him coming up to see me about 2 weeks ago. So then when he came, like the IMG, it was like, okay, now we're starting to heat a little bit. And then after that, I planned the OV for last weekend, so then after that, things just started rolling, and now that was this. So
yeah. Now they're here. What they say, they love to say that what they say, we coming.
Well, we coming. We coming.
Yeah. Look like they're here now. Okay,
yes,
so listen. Walk me through the OV. You get there, you got there Friday or Saturday?
You see, I got there Friday.
Okay, so like tell me about it, what it was like landing. Just walk me through the first day.
Yeah. So the first day, I left from the Orlando airport, I want to say like around 12. Got there like around 2 o'clock. Got there, talked to Coach Livingston, like the defensive coordinator. We had a great conversation, just talking about scheme, talking about football, and just talking about the part I would play, if I did go to Colorado, and, just understanding the impact that I would make there as well. After that, then we went to a steakhouse. I mean, it was my first time getting like a tomahawk. So,
wow.
Yeah, it was good. It was good too. It was good too. Yeah, it was good.
Right.
And then, Saturday, just being there for game day and, talking to Coach Prime, just him letting me know, like, why not you? Why why not you? So that it's just thinking like with me now. Why don't you come and be that play that we need? Why don't you just come in and make an impact? That was just
that's
it's
a lot.
big. Yeah.
Really?
I
mean that's Coach Prime, dog. Like I know that had to be one of the more exciting moments in your life so far, having a guy like that. And I mean, now you've been around it. I mean, your brother in the league.
Yeah.
I mean, like it's not like you're talking to the who's who. So when you did have that conversation, like so when Coach Prime comes up to you, like did you go see him in the office, or how did that come about when you got to talk to Coach Prime?
Yeah, so we actually went to his office. So
okay,
so yeah.
One-on-one style conversation.
Yes, sir, it was.
Okay, nice. I ain't gonna ask you everything that was said. I'll leave some of that to be unsaid. But yeah, let's talk about the game day experience. So we got through Friday to talk about Saturday. What was the game day experience like being a recruit on OV in Colorado?
When I tell you those fans don't sit down during the game, they don't sit down. I mean, shoot, just being there in the lights, and just looking to my side, seeing Kevin Durant, just big time basketball names, like that you watch as a just as like a little kid.
Yeah, we still watch, right?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, so you just seeing them, you see like Russell Westbrook, Carmelo Anthony, just those guys like that. So I mean, just understanding that if you go to if you go to Colorado, like you're gonna be seeing big time names like on the sideline, and not just saying, okay, I'm gonna just go to go to Colorado just because they have that, but just understanding, like I said before, understanding the opportunity as I play, understanding that okay, if you go here, this is not only a 3-4 decision, but this is a decision that's going to affect your life. Knowing that okay, if you go here, you lock in, you do what you're supposed to do, you're gone in 3 years, and now you're up to the league. So just understanding that if you go to Colorado, you're going to have the same opportunity as going to any other school. So yeah.
So the linebacker play has been kind of like they really stepped it up over the past few months. Past few games. Nakai Hill-Green been balling. Like what do you see as from Colorado's linebackers that allow you to think that you could be successful there?
Yeah, just talking to Coach Livingston, knowing that they run a similar scheme to the 49ers, and just watching Fred Warner, him being one of the best linebackers in the league, right? So just understanding that, and just understanding that, okay, now you have a 3-tech and a 2-eye, who are going to be down there, guarding, like just guarding you so that you can play free.
Right. Cover you up.
So, so you just playing free, seeing the ball, making plays, and just affecting. I just honestly, you're a big impact. Knowing that okay, now I have guys in front of me who can do what they're supposed to do, and now I'm just here playing free and just making plays.
How big is early playing time for you in your decision-making process?
Yeah, I would say that development is a thing for me. Okay. And then also I want to say that playing early is a big thing for me as well. Right? Understanding the type of player I am, understanding, okay, this is not high school no more. Right? Understanding that everybody's gonna be fast, everybody's gonna be athletic. So what are you gonna do that's gonna separate you and separate your game? So it's just coming in early and leaving in late. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So just understanding that, okay, if I want to play early, nothing is going to be handed to me, but I'm about to go inside that facility and, do it every day, every day to the best of my ability at that. Right. So, so I would say playing early, it's definitely big on my radar. It's just definitely big on my list just because I know the type of work ethic that I put in on a daily basis. So.
All right, so you've been tied to Notre Dame. I guess you were like a legacy since your brother went there. And you got Michigan. You were really big on Michigan. USC. I mean, last time we talked at Florida, those were the big four. Last time we talked. Colorado, I'm sure, is in the top 5 now. Is there any other school that you're looking at?
Texas as well. So
Texas, okay. Yeah. So when do you plan on going to Texas?
November 23rd.
Okay. And now I remember, I think, if I'm not mistaken, after the last time we talked, you were going to make your decision after that, maybe like early December or late November?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you have a date plan yet?
If I don't have a date planned by late November, is this going to have to be on December 4th?
Okay.
You know?
All right.
So, yeah.
So we'll kind of say tentatively around December 4th.
Exactly.
Right now, do you have a leader?
I don't right now.
Okay. All right. So, man, so before we get out of here, we got to talk about your season, man. How the season been going?
You know, like season going great. Right now we got a bye week, you know, so it's just watching film, being at practice, and just practicing like it's the game, right? So that when it does come time for the game, knowing that, okay, I did what I need to do in practice so that, you know, so the game can be easier for me.
Right. Man, absolutely. All right, Nate. So, you know, I'll get you on here. We're probably going to talk again after that Texas visit.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah,
let's do it.
Yeah, we'll do that, man. I appreciate it. Where can everybody find your social media?
_NOB11 on Instagram and on Twitter.
All right, man. Thanks a lot, Nate.
Yes, sir. Thank you.